Welcome to Battle Axe. This is the moment we've been waiting all season for, and a moment these competitors have been waiting a lifetime for. I'm Joey Danya at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. We are set to go for our double elimination postseason tournament here on Battle Axe. If you're just joining the show, here's how Battle Axe works. Every player will get 10 throws. On their 5th and 10th throws, the players can opt to go for a kill shot. If they can hit that small blue dot on the ring of the 1, they get 8 points. If they miss, they get 0. Here is the bracket for what we, of course, call Axe Madness. The top overall seed is Matt Bradshaw. He has been the points leader all season long, and he will, of course, be the heavy favorite here in this 12-competitor field. Bradshaw will take on the winner of Heather Gall against Lynn Burkhart. Then it's Casey Buell, the 3 seed, also receiving a bye into the second round. He'll get the winner of the matchup between Lauren Novak and the 12 seed, Gina Fenstra. The 2 seed is Casey Nines. He will get the winner of Eric the Scope Scheisel against Angie Miller. Christian Bradshaw is the 4 seed. She'll take on the winner of Gretchen Bradshaw against Kyle Gall. We're set to go. Eric Scheisel's set to go. We'll throw it down to the Scope for more on his approach to this double elimination tournament.
I'm just going to go into it like Taylor Swift, shake it off and keep going. You know, just keep on moving ahead, not focus on the loss because everyone's going to have to. That second place person, that person going up against the undefeated, you're going to have to take a loss in order to get there. So taking one isn't necessarily the worst option. You know, it's going to be going up against Casey Nines, going up against Casey Buell, something like that. You know, if they take a loss and I meet them down in bracket B, that's where the heat's going to really be on. Those are kind of the players I'm really worried about right now tonight because they are throwing really well in practice.
Thank you, Eric. The loser of matches in the A bracket will drop down to the B bracket where they'll be facing elimination, and then the winner of the A bracket will take on the winner of the B bracket in a best-of-3 championship. First up, Lynn Burkhart, the 8 seed, taking on the 6 seed, Heather the Hatchet Gall.
Check 1-2, game 1.
We call Heather the Hatchet because that hatchet is huge. And she lands it for what appears to be a 4, and it's a 4 for Burkhart as well. We are underway with Axe Madness. You can almost sense the angst and nervousness here on the face of both of these competitors.
6-4.
They work so hard just to get to this moment.
Woo-woo.
And here one throw can completely derail the season.
4-4.
Couple of 4s here from Gall and Burkhart.
They don't know.
Gall a 2-point advantage, 14-12 after 3 throws.
We know. 6-6.
We've seen both of these competitors
Lynn,
have so much fun throughout the season, but you can tell there's just a different mood here in the postseason.
6 drop.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, switch sides.
Lynn Burkhart with a devastating fall. Heather Gall now has a commanding lead, 26-18. We're halfway home. Lynn Burkhart is going to have to get hot here in the back half.
4-3.
It's a 4 for Heather Gall, a 3 for Lynn Burkhart. Heather Gall now with a 9-point lead, just 4 throws to go. A matchup with Matt Bradshaw, the overall top seed, looming for the winner of this one. Couple of 4s there. It remains a 9-point advantage for Heather Gall. Just 3 throws to go.
4-4.
Heather Gall starting to smile a little bit now. She can almost taste that victory. It's a 38-29 advantage.
More awkward.
Heather Gall closing in on a win here in Axe Madness.
6-4.
There's a nice throw from Lynn Burkhart. It's a bullseye, closing the gap just a little bit, 42-35. If she can land a kill shot and get a fall from Burkhart, she'll be back in it.
Heather, you want a kill shot? And Lynn? All right. 3, 6,
And this one is over.
Go ahead.
Heather
takes
Gall
the win, 45-41.
is moving
Nice,
on.
ladies. Very well
Burkhart
done.
lands a bullseye, but it's Gall getting the win, 45-41. Heather Gall is moving on in the A bracket. She defeats Lynn Burkhart 45-41. Gall will advance to take on the overall top seed, Matt Bradshaw. Meanwhile, Lynn Burkhart will drop down to the B bracket, facing elimination in her next matchup. It was that fall on the fifth throw that proved to be the difference in this one. Just a little too much for Lynn Burkhart to overcome, as Heather Gall gets the victory here in our first matchup of Axe Madness. We've got so much more Axe Madness still to come straight ahead on Battle Axe here on MC22. Welcome back to this postseason edition of Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa for this double elimination tournament in the Fall League of the WATL. If you're new to the program, here's how it works. Every competitor gets 10 throws. On the 5th and 10th throws, the players can opt if they want to go for a kill shot. To get the kill shot, you have to land the axe in that small blue dot on the ring of the 1. If the player can land the kill shot, they get 8 points. If they miss, they get 0 points. We just saw Heather Gall defeat Lynn Burkhart 45-41 in our first matchup of this double elimination postseason tournament. And here's a look at the updated bracket here in Axe Madness. Gall moving on to take on Matt Bradshaw. We're set to go for our second matchup of the tournament. Gina Fenstra, the 12 seed, looking to upset Lauren Novak, the 7 seed. Let's get it on. Novak and Fenstra touching tips of the axe for good sportsmanship.
All right. Lane's open. Let's
Fenstra coming into this one with a record of 4-24, but here in Axe Madness,
2-3.
anything can happen, and Fenstra has the early lead over Novak, 3-2.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Whoop, there
A
it is.
sigh there from Fenstra. She's got to be feeling good with the early lead, but there it goes.
4 and a 3.
It's a 4 for Novak, a 3 for Fenstra. We're all tied up at 6. Look at that look from Fenstra. Novak also locked in. Both of these players, they want this so badly. Fenstra
6-4.
with a bullseye. She's got a 2-point lead over Novak now.
Don't worry, nobody can see the spaghetti stain.
You can't understate the amount of pressure these players
4-4.
must be feeling right now.
Here we go. All right, Gina.
And
16.
Fenstra
Lauren,
handling this
14.
pressure nicely.
Fifth shot. Gina.
She still has a 2-point lead over Lauren Novak.
All right.
Novak set to go here for her 5th throw. It's a 4 for Novak.
4 for
Eric
Lauren.
Scheisel's going to get a closer look at this throw here from Fenstra.
Yeah, you can cross. You're good. And
It is a 4
4
from
Switch
Fenstra
sides.
as well, so we're halfway home, and Gina Fenstra has a 2-point advantage. Could we have an upset brewing here in Axe
All right,
Madness?
lane's open.
A 2 there. Actually, it's going to be a 3 for Lauren Novak. It's a 4 for Gina Fenstra. She now has a 3-point lead over Lauren Novak. We've certainly seen much better performances from Novak throughout the season. Can she get it going here to pick up the win?
3-2.
There's a 2 for Fenstra, so she's going to leave the door open here for Lauren Novak.
It is.
3 throws to go. It's a 2-point
throw.
lead for Gina Fenstra. Nice throw there from Lauren Novak.
2.
It's a bullseye.
Cross. 6 and 2.
You figured Novak had a bullseye coming,
There you
and
go,
there it
9 throw.
is. All of a sudden, Lauren Novak is taking a 2-point lead, and all of the pressure back on Fenstra. There's a nice answer from Gina
6-4.
Fenstra. Her second bullseye of the match. We are all tied up with
if you
just
haven't been
one
keeping
throw
track,
to
there's
go.
a 10
Time for
throw
these
time
ladies
ball
to
game,
decide if they
34
want to
piece
go for
ladies.
the kill shot. They're going to decline the option. And they're going to see if they can just
Kill shot? All right.
who can get a bullseye. That's what it's going to come down to right here. Gina Fenstra
Hold up. Let me take a closer look. That's
appears
a
to
4-4.
have a bullseye, which would
And
give her
it's
the
a 6 for
victory,
Gina.
and it is a bullseye.
There you go, Gina. Nice
Gina
win.
Fenstra with our first upset
Take it by
of
2. Great job,
Axe
ladies.
Madness.
Clank
She
'em.
beats Lauren Novak. Step aside, Cinderella. Gina Fenstra is moving on to the next dance here at the Ball of Axe Madness. Fenstra winning 40-38 over Lauren Novak. We're going to send it down now to our winner, Gina Fenstra, for more on her victory here in Axe Madness.
So had a great first game, tournament night. Never expected to win the first game, especially with 42 points. Completely amazing. Feel great.
Thank you, Gina. She will move on to take on the 3 seed, Casey Buell, here on Axe Madness. Elsewhere, Eric Scheisel, the 5 seed. He just advanced over Angie Miller. Scheisel will now take on the 2 seed, Casey Nines, here in the A bracket. Next up, we've got Gretchen Bradshaw taking on Kyle Gall. We're going to throw it down to Bradshaw right now for her mentality on this tournament.
I mean, my mentality is just continue to be consistent as best I can and play my best game. And then hopefully it shakes out at the end that, I've done better than I did when I started.
Thank you, Gretchen. She is the 10 seed here on Axe Madness. And today, Gretchen Bradshaw is going to take on the 9 seed, Kyle Gall. Winner of this one will get the 4 seed, Christian Bradshaw.
All right,
Christian, of course, the daughter of Gretchen Bradshaw. So if Gretchen can advance, we'll have a mother-daughter matchup in the second round. 4 for Kyle Gall and a 4 for Gretchen Bradshaw on their first throws.
3-4.
There's a 4 for Gretchen Bradshaw, a 3 for Kyle Gall. So Gretchen Bradshaw now with her first lead of the day, 8-7.
4-3.
Back and forth we go. A 4 for Kyle Gall, a 3 for Bradshaw. We're all tied up at 11.
Woohoo!
Kyle Gall coming in with a record of 6-22 on the season, but
4-4.
here on Axe Madness, anything can happen.
15-15. Tie ball
As
game.
we saw earlier, we saw our 12 seed Gina Fenstra advance with just 4 wins on the season coming into Axe Madness. She got the win over Lauren Novak.
Sorry, you can cross. That's fine. Go ahead. I'm just second guessing. Actually, that's a 2. You take a
That
2
one
on
is
yeah.
just across the line for a
Yeah, you
2
moved up
for
to the top of that.
Kyle Gall.
Switch
Gretchen
sides.
Bradshaw certainly
All right,
thought it
Lane,
was a 1, and every point so crucial here in a tight matchup in
1-3.
this postseason. A 3 for Gretchen Bradshaw, a 1 for Kyle Gall. He's starting to melt down a little bit. Gretchen Bradshaw building on her lead.
4-4.
So Kyle Gall back into rhythm now with a 4.
Okay. I thought
It was
so.
close to a bullseye for Gretchen Bradshaw, but it's a 4, so it remains a 4-point lead. 3 throws to go here. Gretchen Bradshaw looking to seal the deal. She gets a 4 to Kyle Gall's 2. Now a 6-point lead with just a couple of throws to go. Kyle Gall needs to make something happen here.
4.
It's a 4 for Gall and a 4 for Bradshaw.
Right. 34.
Kyle
20.
Gall,
Gretchen, you're up
At
by
this point,
6
pretty
points
much
from
needs to
Dubuque.
go for the kill shot.
Kyle? No. All right.
He's going to decline the option, however.
6-4. There you
Gretchen
go. Nice
Bradshaw
job,
puts this one away with a bullseye. Her first
40-32.
bullseye
Nice
of the day as
nice shoot.
Bradshaw gets the win,
That's right.
40-32. Gretchen Bradshaw moving on, 40-32 over Kyle Gall. She's now going to advance to take on her daughter, Christian Bradshaw, the 4 seed. So we've seen a couple of upsets here already as we get Battle Axe's Axe Madness underway It's Matt Bradshaw, the top seed, now will face Heather Gall, the 6th seed. Casey Buell will take on Gina Fenstra. Casey Nine's going to go head-to-head with Eric Scheisel. And Christian Bradshaw going to take on her mom, the 10 seed, Gretchen Bradshaw. Much more Battle Axe straight ahead on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. It's been 7 weeks of action to get to this moment, our postseason double elimination tournament. It's been a thrilling start to the tournament thus far. We've seen some of our lower seeds advance for some upsets, and now we're going to get a look at some of the very best in this tournament, the favorites to win it, and the clear-cut favorite to win it all, of course, is our top seed, Matt Bradshaw. Only one loss on the season. He suffered that loss in Week 7, and now here we are in the postseason. We'll see Matt Bradshaw get ready to go as he chases a championship. Matt Bradshaw going to take on the 6th seed, Heather the Hatchet Gall.
Lanes are open.
Look at that shirt from Matt Bradshaw. Look at the pants. This guy means business. Matt Bradshaw, to no surprise, opening up this postseason with a bullseye. He's got a 2-point lead over Heather Gall. Gall was victorious over Lynn Burkhart in her first-round matchup, 45-41. And what a nice reward. You get to take on the GOAT.
3-6.
Matt Bradshaw with another bullseye. He's now got a 5-point advantage after a 3 from Heather the Hatchet. Chance for a unicorn here for Matt Bradshaw. 3 consecutive bullseyes. It's a unicorn for the Magic Man.
4-6.
Matt Bradshaw with 3 consecutive bullseyes to open up his postseason tournament. Back in Week 7, he was clearly rattled when he lost. For the only time this season, you had to wonder, how would he respond in the postseason? Well, so far, Matt Bradshaw responding nicely. 4 consecutive bullseyes to open up his tournament. He's got a 9-point lead over over Heather Gall. Will she go for a kill shot? No, and neither will Matt Bradshaw. Well, this is an interesting strategy here from Heather Gall.
4. I'm going to get a close
Matt
look.
Bradshaw, one of those players that likes to wait. He likes to be second when he throws his axe. Heather Gall taking her time there on that throw.
Switch sides.
Trying to get into the head of Matt Bradshaw. Got to do something to get back in this one. See if her strategy can rattle Bradshaw at all.
6 and a 4. I'm going to take a closer look to yours. Go ahead. You can cross. I know.
Eric Scheisel's going to get a closer look here at the throw of Heather Gall. It's a bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. It's a 4 for Gall. Didn't miss by much. But still no bullseyes for Gall in this one. Nothing but bullseyes for Matt Bradshaw. Look at that look from Heather Gall. She's saying, you're going first.
6-4.
And it doesn't matter. I'll go first and hit a bullseye, says Bradshaw. His 7th consecutive bullseye. This guy can't miss. 42-27, Matt Bradshaw salting this one away.
6-4.
It's another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. A 48-31 lead over Heather Gall. This one all but over, but the tournament won't be over for Heather Gall. She'll just drop down to the B bracket where she'll be facing elimination. And Matt Bradshaw
6-6.
cruising along here in his opening matchup of Axe Madness.
Heather, you get 37, Matt.
A
You're at
9th
54.
consecutive bullseye. That's his 3rd unicorn of the matchup. And he is 1 bullseye away from a round of 60. And it appears Matt Bradshaw has a 60. Indeed, he does. What a statement from Matt Bradshaw.
For Heather, nice shooting,
He
guys.
gets the win, 60-41.
That second.
Well, earlier this season, we saw Matt Bradshaw score a 60, and here in the postseason, he does it again to get things started with his postseason action. Matt Bradshaw, the victor over Heather Gall, 60-41. He advances in the A bracket. Gall drops down to the B bracket, where she'll face elimination. Bradshaw will now take on Casey Buell. We get a rematch. From Week 7, it was Buell handing Bradshaw his only loss of the season. Looking forward to the rematch here in the postseason. Next up, we've got Casey Nines, the 2 seed, taking on Eric Scheisel. We're going to throw it down to Nines now for more on his mindset heading into the tournament.
Not too bad. I mean, it's just like any other night. I did come in for the first hour and practice for a while, and in practice, the kill shots, bullseyes, all that kind of stuff, trying to warm up the shoulder and the arm. But we'll just see once we start the games and see how they go.
Thank you, Casey. Casey Nines, our 2 seed here in this tournament. And here, as his tournament begins, he's going to take on the 5 seed, Eric the Scope Scheisel, against Casey Laser Wolf Nines.
Lanes are open.
We, of course, call Casey Nines
Gentlemen,
Laser
have at it.
Wolf because he calls his axe the Butcher. Meanwhile, Eric Scheisel, we call him the Scope because he's locked in, fully calibrated, ready to go. Couple of 4s here for Nines and Scheisel to open up this matchup. Laser Wolf missing the mark on that one.
4-6.
Another 4 for Casey Nines. Meanwhile, Eric the Scope lands a bullseye. He's now got a 10-8 lead. Casey Nines looking to land his first bullseye of the day. Missing that one badly, and you can see the frustration there from Casey Nines. It's a 3. Another bullseye for the Scope. He sends this crowd into a frenzy with a chance to get a unicorn. There's Laser Wolf answering nicely. He gets his first bullseye of the day. Eric Scheisel unable to land a bullseye for a unicorn, so Casey Nines closing the gap. It's a 3-point lead for Eric Scheisel here, as these players will decline the option to go for the kill shot on their 5th throws. Laser Wolf starting to get into a rhythm here. Looks like he's got a 2nd consecutive bullseye, but Matt Bradshaw going to take a closer look. It is a bullseye for Casey Nines. It's a 4 for Scheisel. We've got a 1-point lead for Eric Scheisel with 5 throws to go. Scheisel and Nines switch sides here and get set to go for the second half. Figured this one would be a good one. And it's living up to all the hype thus far. 4 for Scheisel, 4 for Nines. The Scope clinging to a 1-point lead with just 4 throws to go. Laser Wolf just missing a bullseye there. Eric Scheisel landing it for a bullseye and a 3-point lead. 3 throws to go. Casey Nines going to have to get some bullseyes in here. Looks like he's got one right there. Putting a little pressure on Eric Scheisel. And the Scope unfazed by the moment. A 2nd consecutive bullseye for Scheisel. He's still hanging on to that 3-point lead with just 2 throws to go here in Axe Madness. That one awfully close to a bullseye for Casey Nines, but it's just off the mark for a 4. Meanwhile, Eric Scheisel gets a unicorn. Tough decision here for Casey Nines. Eric Scheisel will decline the option.
46-41, correct.
5-point game. Nines thinking it over. Doing some quick math here.
He's going
Nines going to go for it all. No guts, no glory. Can Nines shock the world? Ooh, just off the mark for Nines. Eric Scheisel gets the win. 50-41 over Casey Nines. The 5 seed is moving on in the A bracket. Eric the Scope Scheisel, the victor over Casey Nines, 50-41. Nines, kind of like we saw last week, just unable to get a lot of bullseyes like he's accustomed to. Scheisel taking full advantage to get the win. He'll advance to take on the winner of our next matchup, Christian Bradshaw, going head-to-head with her mom, Gretchen Bradshaw. Looking forward to that one. Also looking forward to Matt Bradshaw's rematch with Casey Buell. We'll bring it all to you straight ahead here on Battle Axe on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, for this tournament we call Axe Madness. We saw Gretchen Bradshaw defeat Kyle Gall earlier. She advances to take on her daughter, the 4-seed, Christian Bradshaw. For more on her outlook this postseason tournament, here's Christian.
With not throwing, a little nervous. I think I'm more nervous. I'm psyching myself out because it's tournament week, so I think this week is what really counts. I'm trying not to over-practice. I've noticed if I over-practice, I get a little too cocky, so I got to tone it down a little bit. So just kind of watching and observing and just calming my nerves.
Thank you, Christian. Best of luck against your mom. Now for more on how mom's feeling heading into this one, we're going to throw it down to Gretchen Bradshaw.
Oh, well, that one's hard because she is just like her father in that she is very competitive, extremely needs to win. So she has this extreme intense winning desire. So she will be really hard on herself if I beat her, but then I don't want to just give it to her either because she is, old enough to know that there is disappointment and mom can still beat her. So it's game on with her, just game on.
Thank you, Gretchen. Best of luck. Let's get right to this action here on Battle Axe. It's going to be Christian Bradshaw, the 4-seed, taking on her mom, Gretchen Bradshaw, the 10-seed. Christian and Gretchen. Touch tips for good sportsmanship. And we are set to go here in this family affair.
4-3.
It's a 4 for Gretchen Bradshaw, a 3 for Christian. So mom's got a 1-point lead
We can still hear it.
out of the
We can
gates.
still hear it.
Axe throwing just in the Bradshaw blood. And these postseason matchups, they're so
1 point apart.
important, but this one has to be even more important, you would imagine, for both of these competitors when you just grow up with it.
6-6. Let me take a closer look, Gretchen. You guys can cross. Go ahead. If I call it, you can cross.
Awfully close to a bullseye there for Gretchen Bradshaw.
I am on red.
She's pleading her case for a bullseye,
Oh, you're still red.
and Eric Scheisel's going to give it to her.
Good bullseye.
Her first bullseye of the day, also the first bullseye of the day for Christian Bradshaw. Like mother, like daughter.
Good. Unique New York. 3-4.
A 4 for Christian Bradshaw, a 3 for Gretchen.
Fifth throw.
We're all tied up after 4 throws. Look at that look from Christian Bradshaw.
4-4.
You spend your whole life
Yeah. That's right.
proving
Keep tied,
that
switch
you
sides.
belong in this family of axe throwers, and she's out to prove something here today against her mom. 21 all after 5 throws. They'll switch sides and get set to go for the second half.
3-4.
It's a 4 for Christian Bradshaw. She now takes the lead, 25-24.
24-25. Up by 1. Let's go.
Look at that look of frustration from Christian Bradshaw. Boy, would she like that throwback. It's a 3. Gretchen Bradshaw gets a 4. We're tied up at 28. Just 3 throws to go here in Axe Madness.
4-4.
It's a 4 for Gretchen Bradshaw and a 4 for Christian Bradshaw.
Can we see?
Gretchen
Let's
Bradshaw,
go.
the 10 seed, looking for another upset.
9th throw. 32.
Will the slippers still fit Cinderella?
4-4. There we go. Tied.
Wow. 4s across the board. We are all tied up at 36. One final throw will decide this one. Or will it? A couple of bullseyes from Bradshaw's.
That's 42. 42 apiece, ladies.
We're all
and
tied
gentlemen.
up at
Sudden
42, heading to sudden death.
death. All right. In case you don't know what sudden death is.
Sudden death, of course, will be given to the competitor that can land closest to the kill shot. The kill shot, of course, is that small blue circle on the ring of the one.
Sticks to the board no matter where.
So if one of these competitors can land a kill shot and the other one cannot, it will be over. If not, it will come down to who is closer to landing the kill shot. Couldn't have scripted a better finish to this one. What a throw there from Christian Bradshaw. The pressure on Gretchen now. And Christian Bradshaw defeats her mom in sudden death. A hug from mom and daughter here as Christian Bradshaw gets the victory over Gretchen.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
42-42, a sudden death victory for Christian Bradshaw.
Half-inch maybe.
So Christian Bradshaw moving on in the A bracket, just squeaking out a victory over her mom, Gretchen Bradshaw, who will now drop down to the B bracket where she'll be facing elimination. It all came down to the kill shot, and Christian Bradshaw, what a throw to advance here in the A bracket. She'll now take on Eric the Scope Scheisel, the 4 seed against the 5 seed. On the top of the bracket, we've got the overall number 1 seed, Matt Bradshaw, set to go against Casey Buell, the only man to beat him this season. The question is, can Casey do it again?
I do believe I can beat Matt again. It will be challenging. I think he needs to be in his head, so he kind of gives me an edge, but I think it's possible. Anything's possible.
Thank you, Casey. Best of luck here in your matchup against the top seed, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. Going to go head-to-head with Casey Bullseye Buell.
Like him. Let's go.
Buell and Bradshaw, touch tips for good sportsmanship, and our rematch is underway. Matt Bradshaw with a bullseye to take the early lead on Casey Buell. Nothing but bullseyes thus far in the postseason for Matt Bradshaw. He put up a 60 in his first round matchup. Casey Buell missing badly there on his second throw. Bradshaw off the mark as well, but not by much. It's a 4 for Matt Bradshaw. He's got a 3-point lead over Casey Buell. Very little room for error here when you're going up against Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw and Casey Buell.
4-6.
Going to have to get locked in here and get some bullseyes to have a chance in this one. Another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. He has a 5-point lead now. Matt Bradshaw
4. I'm going to take a look.
keeps pouring it on. Casey Buell going to need a favorable ruling here from Eric Scheisel.
Right, there you go. Nice bullseye.
It is a bullseye for Casey Buell, his first of this matchup to keep within range
All
of
right, 22 for
Matt Bradshaw. It's a
17
5-point
Casey
game.
Buell.
We get to our 5th shot. Bradshaw and Buell both declining the option to go for the kill shot. So Buell, after a little bit of a shaky start, he's starting to get into his rhythm. Looks like a bullseye, and it is. 2 consecutive bullseyes from Casey Buell. A unicorn from Matt Bradshaw. And we're halfway home. That looks like a unicorn of his own for Casey Buell.
6-6.
And another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. 4 straight bullseyes for the top dog. His 5-point lead stays intact here with 4 throws to go. Casey Buell can only hope that one's a bullseye.
Look at Casey's got
Eric Scheisel's going to take a look. Meanwhile, Matt Bradshaw leaving the door open, missing on the bullseye attempt. It's a 4 for Bradshaw, and this one awfully close to a bullseye. Eric Scheisel might have to take out his scope and get a closer look.
Clear my mind here, but left is
He's going to call in Casey Nines for another opinion.
No.
Laser Wolf
Right?
taking a look at it. Keep in mind, The red has to appear on both sides of the blade for it to be a bullseye.
Sorry.
And Casey Buell just missing a bullseye. Boy, he really could have used that one. That would have made it a 3-point game. Instead, it remains a 5-point advantage for Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. Casey Bullseye Buell not living up to his namesake in this one. He's going to have to get a hot finish here with some bullseyes to get back in it. That's a bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. He's got a 44-37 lead, looking to salt this one away with just 2 throws to go.
Okay, lane's open.
Casey Buell needed that one. It's a bullseye. Pressure's on now a little bit for Bradshaw. That one's very close for Bradshaw. Eric Scheisel doesn't even need to look at it, though. That's why we call him the scope. It's a 4 for Bradshaw. So Casey Buell closing the gap a little bit. He's now within range. Will he go for the kill shot? Figure you almost have to if you want to get the victory. It's so rare that Matt Bradshaw has a fall, and that's what Casey Buell would need if he doesn't go for the kill shot. These players really thinking this one over.
43-48.
Buell's going to go for the kill shot. Will Matt Bradshaw?
Matt, you're up by 5.
He's up by 5.
You both are going
Matt Bradshaw also going for the kill shot.
Right.
Bradshaw will not be pushed around. Casey Buell missing badly, and Bradshaw
0.
also missing,
48-43, nice shoot.
but it's a victory for the Magic Man. Matt Bradshaw, the winner, 48-43. The sweet taste of victory and the sweet taste of redemption for Matt Bradshaw. He gets a 48-43 victory over Casey Buell to advance in the A bracket of this double elimination tournament. As for Buell, he drops down to the B bracket where he will be facing elimination. Here's a look at the bracket now. Matt Bradshaw awaiting the winner between Eric Scheisel and Christian Bradshaw, the 4 seed. So if Christian can advance, we'll have a father-daughter matchup. For more on Matt Bradshaw's 2-0 start to this postseason, we'll throw it down to the Magic Man himself.
The first match, I got into a zone. I hit my 10 bullseyes, so it felt really good. And then I ended up my second match meeting my nemesis, Casey Buell. So that one got me a little twisted in the stomach a bit, but fortunately I got through that match, and now I can get back to my deep breathing and get back into my routine.
Thank you, Matt. Best of luck the rest of this tournament. Much more Battle Axe straight ahead on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe Postseason Edition. Here is a updated look at the Axe Madness bracket. Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, the top seed, moving on with a couple of victories here. He's going to await the winner of the 5 seed, Eric Scheisel, against the 4 seed, Christian Bradshaw. Let's get it on. Christian the Kid Bradshaw taking on Eric the Scope Scheisel. Bradshaw and Scheisel touch tips for good sportsmanship, and we're set to go. Christian Bradshaw missing badly on that one.
3 and
It's a 3 for Bradshaw. And it's a 4 for Scheisel, so the Scope with a 1-point lead. Eric Scheisel did not receive a first-round bye. He's had a couple of victories to get to this matchup. Both of these players trying to earn themselves a spot against the top seed, Matt Bradshaw.
4-6.
Eric Scheisel with a bullseye. He's got a 3-point lead. It's a 4 for Christian Bradshaw. Crowd trying to get behind Christian Bradshaw here. Eric Scheisel quieting out the noise. A bullseye for the Scope. He's unfazed by this crowd and this moment. Chance at a unicorn now for Eric Scheisel. 3 consecutive bullseyes. Can he do it? Christian Bradshaw, clearly frustrated with that throw. It's a 3 for Bradshaw, and it's a unicorn for Eric Scheisel.
Throw 22-16. Eric.
He now has a 6-point advantage. Christian Bradshaw declining the option to go for the kill shot, as does Eric Scheisel. With a 6-point lead, no need for Scheisel to get aggressive here.
3 and 4.
It's a 4 for Scheisel, a 3 for Bradshaw.
All right, go ahead and switch sides.
So we're halfway home. Eric Scheisel has a 7-point advantage. Strong start to this one for Eric Scheisel, that unicorn, giving him a sizable advantage over Christian Bradshaw, who continues to struggle here. It's another bullseye for Eric Scheisel. Christian Bradshaw calling in Casey Nines to take a closer look. It's a 3 for Christian Bradshaw. I think Nines was going to give her a 4, but as the old saying goes, honesty goes a long way. We'll see if Christian Bradshaw can get hot here and get back in this one. Good throw there. It's close to a bullseye for Bradshaw. She's shaking her head, doesn't think it is.
That was close.
Just missed it. It's a 4 for Bradshaw. Another bullseye for Eric the Scope Scheisel. Eric the Scope living up to his namesake. He is really dialed in here. Just missed out on that first round bye, but it hasn't mattered because the Scope is closing in on a matchup with Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. He now has a 14-point lead after his second unicorn of the match. This one getting away from Christian Bradshaw, but her tournament far from over. This is one of those matchups that she'll just look to flush and then get back to business in the B bracket and try to fight her way out of that. 14-point lead for Eric Scheisel.
What was that?
Christian Bradshaw going to go for the kill shot here on her final throw. Eric Scheisel already going to be the victor, but he'll look to add on some points here. Christian Bradshaw missing on her attempt at the kill shot. Eric Scheisel, his third win of Axe Madness, 52-34 over Christian Bradshaw. So 3 matches and 3 victories for Eric the Scope Scheisel here in this double elimination postseason tournament. He gets the win over Christian Bradshaw, 52-34. Scheisel with a pair of unicorns in this one that proved to be the big difference for Scheisel. He advances now to take on Matt Bradshaw in the A bracket. Bradshaw and Scheisel now just 1 win away from earning a spot in the championship series. That will be a best-of-3 series against the winner of the B bracket. And here's a look at that B bracket. It's Christian Bradshaw and Casey Buell, the 3 and 4 seeds who will earn double buys in the B bracket. Elsewhere, Angie Miller defeated Gina Fenstra in the 11-12 matchup. So Angie Miller awaiting the winner of the 6-9 matchup between Heather Gall and Kyle Gall. Elsewhere, it's Casey Nines advancing over Lauren Novak. He'll await the winner of Gretchen Bradshaw and Lynn Burkhart. We'll bring you that matchup shortly, but first, we're going to bring you a matchup between husband and wife, Kyle Gall, taking on his better half, Heather the Hatchet.
Lane's open.
Heather and Kyle touching tips for good sportsmanship, and we're underway.
4-4.
A 4 for Kyle and a 4 for Heather.
Hey, bring it up here so it blows right here. Because I'm dying. It's hot up here.
You know what they say about relationships?
4-6.
The couple that throws axes together stays together. Regardless of the outcome of this one, Heather and Kyle have a lifetime of throwing axes ahead of them, and it will be nothing but sweet bliss.
1-6.
Heather Gall rubbing it in the face of her husband Kyle.
Sister, who's
A bullseye, her second consecutive bullseye. She's got a commanding lead and a chance at a unicorn. It looks like she's got one.
4. Heather,
It's
let me see.
close.
You guys can cross.
The scope's going to go in for a closer look.
Okay.
Heather just missing
Kyle,
a
you're at
third
13, and Heather,
consecutive
you're at
bullseye.
20.
She's got a 7-point lead over Kyle Gall. Couple of fours there from Heather
go ahead and
and
switch
Kyle,
sides.
so it remains a 7-point advantage for Heather Gall with her husband Kyle facing elimination
Lanes
here.
are open, guys. Go ahead. 4-6.
So Kyle now closing the gap a bit. A bullseye, his first of the match. That'll make it a 5-point lead for Heather Gall. 4 throws to go.
6-4.
Second consecutive bullseye for Kyle Gall.
Making
Another
game, Kyle,
4
making
for
game. Down by
Heather.
3, 32-29.
Just like that, it's a 3-point game. Pressure back on now for Heather Gall.
3-4.
So Kyle Gall unable to land a unicorn. It's a 3. Heather Gall gets a 4 to extend the lead to 4.
4-4.
Couple of 4s there from both the
All right,
Galls.
40-36. Heather, you're up by
One
40
final
points.
shot here. They're going to decline the option for the kill shot. A pair of 3s and
There you go,
Mrs.
Heather,
Gall
you're gonna take the win with 43.
defeats Mr.
Kyle
Gall.
at 39. Nice shooting, guys.
Heather,
Way to go.
the victor, 43-39.
That's right.
So it's all over for Kyle Gall. He is heading home, falling to his wife, Heather Gall. She moves on here in the B bracket, 43-39. Really good matchup here. And it was Heather Gall able to hold off her husband there, matching him on the last couple of throws to advance. She will now take on the 11 seed, Angie Miller. Winner of that one is going to get the 4 seed, Christian Bradshaw. And then down on the bottom half of the bracket, it's Casey Nines awaiting the winner of Gretchen Bradshaw and Lynn Burkhart, with Casey Buell looming there in the next matchup. More Battle Axe straight ahead on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, for this double elimination postseason tournament. We call it Axe Madness. Here's how it all works. Every player gets 10 throws. On the 5th and 10th throws, players can opt to go for a kill shot. If they land the kill shot, they will get 8 points. Here's how the bracket looks in the B bracket. It's Christian Bradshaw waiting the winner of Kyle Gall and Angie Miller. Elsewhere, it's the 2 seed, Casey Nines, awaiting the winner of Gretchen Bradshaw, the 10 seed, against the 8 seed, Lynn Burkhart. And we're going to bring you that matchup right now. Burkhart against Bradshaw with the season on the line. Burkhart and Bradshaw set to go.
4-2.
Shaky start for Lynn Burkhart in this one. It's a 2. Sometimes with so much pressure, the entire season on the line, that can get to you. Might be getting to Lynn Burkhart here. We'll see how she responds.
4-6.
And there's a nice answer for Lynn Burkhart, a bullseye. So now we're tied up at 8
Yeah, I heard you took a spill.
after a couple of throws.
4-4.
Lynn Burkhart not missing the bullseye by much.
Right? Sleep.
Another 4
I
for
did the same
Gretchen
in the hallway, but
Bradshaw.
I had Maggie to
It's a
grab
12-12
onto, so I didn't
game.
total each stuff on.
Gretchen Bradshaw, the 10 seed,
3, 4.
trying to pull off another upset.
Take another look at that left side, but it's so shiny.
That one is awfully close to a bullseye, but it's a 4.
All right.
Lynn Burkhart takes a 1-point lead. So after that 2, Burkhart really responding
Hold on, hold on. We
nicely.
got 16 for Lynn and 14 for Gretchen.
Sometimes a
Kill
throw
shot.
like a bullseye can
All right.
get you right back into rhythm.
3-3.
Both of these players not performing at the level they would like to be here in this postseason. This moment might be getting to them. That is about as heartbreaking as it gets there for Lynn Burkhart.
That's right.
It's a fall.
You can do math. 20 to
She's
19,
down by
Gretchen up
2
by 1.
with the entire season on the line. These players work so hard year-round for this moment, and with just one throw, it can all be taken away from them. It's a 2-point game. Gretchen Bradshaw, a 25-23 lead over Lynn Burkhart. There's a nice throw from Burkhart.
4-4.
Just missing on the bullseye. It's a 4. Also a 4 for Gretchen Bradshaw. She is clinging to a 2-point lead with 2 throws to go.
All right, there's a 3 and a 4.
It is a 3 for Lynn Burkhart, a 4 for Gretchen Bradshaw. So Bradshaw leading by 3 with 1 throw to go. Will Burkhart go for the kill shot? Big decision here. The entire season on the line. She's going to decline the option for the kill shot.
Lanes are open. Go ahead and throw, ladies.
So will Bradshaw. She says, let's do this. And there it is. It's over. Heartbreak City for Lynn Burkhart. A hug from the victor, Gretchen Bradshaw. So it is all over for Lynn Burkhart. Her season is finished as Gretchen Bradshaw gets the victory 39-30. Gretchen Bradshaw keeping her season alive and a chance now to take down a giant in Casey Laserwolf 9s. Elsewhere, it's Christian Bradshaw awaiting the winner of the matchup between Heather Gall and Angie Miller, and Casey Buell awaits the winner of 9s and Gretchen Bradshaw. Here in the A bracket, it's Matt Bradshaw, the top seed, taking on Eric the Scope Scheisel, the 5 seed. The winner of this one is going to move on to the championship round. That's a best-of-3 series. Bradshaw and Scheisel, touch tips, and we're set to go here in this matchup between Bradshaw and Scheisel.
That is a 3.
Not a great start to this one for either Scheisel or Bradshaw. A 3 for Scheisel, a 4 for Bradshaw.
Hey, at least they both did.
With so much on the line, anything can happen here. Eric Scheisel knows it. He knows he has a chance to shock the world and take down the Magic Man. Bullseye for Scheisel, a bullseye for Bradshaw. Matt Bradshaw with a 10-9 lead. Look at that look from Eric Scheisel. The biggest matchup of his life. And he's responding to the moment. Another bullseye. So both players now with a chance at a unicorn. A bad miss there for Scheisel. It's a bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. A unicorn. Matt Bradshaw with a 22-19 lead, and Eric Scheisel doesn't even hesitate. He's going for the kill shot. When you're going up against one of the all-time greats in Matt Bradshaw, you got to throw the kitchen sink at him sometimes. Matt Bradshaw. Almost with a bullseye. Eric Scheisel missing the kill shot. It is a bullseye for Matt Bradshaw.
All right, go ahead and switch
A
sides.
4th consecutive bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. So Eric Scheisel with a lot of ground to make up here on the back half.
That is a 6.
It's a bullseye for Scheisel
Oh, 4 for Matt.
and a 4 for Bradshaw. So hang on, this one's not over yet. Eric Scheisel hanging around. Matt Bradshaw looking to close the door and lock up a spot in the championship series.
6-6.
Another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. His 5th bullseye of the round. 3 throws to go. Matt Bradshaw with a 7-point advantage. The Magic Man locked in. Another chance at a unicorn here. It would be his 2nd unicorn of the match, and it would all but put this one away. Looks like it is. It is. Another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. The crowd loving it. Matt Bradshaw,
50 to 41.
his 2nd consecutive unicorn.
Eric?
This one is over. Matt Bradshaw is going to move on. Both players declining the option for a kill shot. And Matt Bradshaw is heading to the championship series. 54 to 44. Matt Bradshaw the victor over Eric Scheisel. Well, when you're going up against Matt Bradshaw, sometimes just even one mistake can cost you. And obviously the 3 and the 4 there on his first 4 throws led to the situation where Scheisel had to go for the kill shot on his 5th throw, and it was just too much for him to overcome. Matt Bradshaw advancing to the championship best-of-3 series. As for Eric the Scope Scheisel, he drops down to the B bracket, but he receives a triple bye, so a spot already there in the final matchup of the B bracket. A win would earn him a spot in the championship against Matt Bradshaw. Let's throw it down to Eric Scheisel for his thoughts on his matchup against Bradshaw.
Yeah, you know what? It was tough. It wasn't even the person. You know, I let a lot of things in the background get in my head. Let a lot of the last minute stuff, last minute conversations I should have, just had. And that's why they don't, that's why they don't ask for it. Headphones, earplugs, that kind of thing. You got to be able to pay attention to the judge. You got to be able to focus in. You got to be able to listen to what's going on for your scores called. But sometimes the background noise gets into your head, gets best of you.
Thank you, Eric. Best of luck the rest of the way. Much more Battle Axe still to come as we are about to crown a champion on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. It's postseason. Double elimination tournament here. Here's a look at the B bracket. Christian Bradshaw set to take on Heather Gall in a 4-6 matchup. Down on the other half of the bracket, it's Casey Buell getting set to take on Casey Nines in a 3-2 matchup. Right now, we're going to bring you Christian Bradshaw, the kid, against Heather the Hatchet Gall.
Okay, lane's open. Go ahead.
Heather will touch tips with Christian for good sportsmanship, and we're set to go here in this postseason matchup. 4 for Bradshaw and a 4 for Gall. The entire season on the line here. You can sense it. You can see it on their faces.
3-6.
A 3 for Christian Bradshaw, a 4 for Heather Gall. It's a bullseye, actually, for Heather Gall, so she now has a 9-7 advantage. Look at that huge hatchet from Heather Gall. That's, of course, why we call her Heather the Hatchet. Bullseye for Christian Bradshaw. She closes the gap, 14-13 now. Wow. You almost never see that here from Christian Bradshaw. A 1. It's a bullseye for Heather Gall. She has a 6-point advantage.
Kill shot?
No.
Christian's going to decline the option to go for a kill shot, trailing by 6. Played conservatively. It's a 3 for Bradshaw. Another bullseye for Gall.
Switch side.
She's starting to run away with it. 2 straight bullseyes for Heather Gall, and a chance here for a unicorn on her 3rd consecutive throw. It looks like Heather Gall might have a unicorn.
4. Go ahead.
It is a unicorn for Heather Gall. What a magical time this must be for Heather Gall. As for Christian Bradshaw, can only wonder what's going through her mind.
4-4.
4 for Bradshaw and a 4 for Gall. Heather Gall leading by 11 now with just 3 throws to go. She can almost taste this victory.
3-4.
It's a 4 for Heather Gall, a 3 for Christian Bradshaw, a 12-point advantage now for Heather Gall. This one is almost all but over for Christian Bradshaw. 4 for Bradshaw, a 4 for Gall. That's going to clinch the victory for Heather Gall.
34-33.
The only thing left now to decide is if they want to go for a kill shot. Christian Bradshaw will go for the kill shot. And she nails it. Christian Bradshaw. She might be heading home, but
Heather takes the win 48.
she walks out of here with a kill shot. 48-40, the final score. Heather Gall advancing here in the B bracket with a victory over Christian Bradshaw. Heather Gall will now await the winner between Casey Buell and Casey Nines in a 3-2 matchup. A matchup we're going to get to right now. It's Casey Bullseye Buell against Casey Laser Wolf Nines. We call Casey Nines Laser Wolf because he calls his axe the Butcher. Laser Wolf, of course, the Butcher. The classic musical Fiddler on the Roof, and the Butcher lands there in the bullseye for Casey Nines. Another bullseye for Laser Wolf. Chance now at a unicorn for Casey Nines as he builds a 4-point advantage over Casey Buell. There it is, a unicorn for Casey Nines. Or is it? Eric Scheisel's going to have to get a closer look. Nine says he knows it's a unicorn, and it is.
I can see it from here, he says.
Casey Nines. All laughs here as he starts this huge matchup with a unicorn. Could it be another bullseye for Nines?
No, it's a 6. I'm just looking to make
Scheisel will make sure.
Yep.
It is.
Nice shot,
4
guys.
bullseyes to start this one for Casey Nines. Meanwhile,
All right,
Casey
good shot,
Buell
24-20.
with a couple of bullseyes and a chance at a unicorn of his own.
Casey, do you want a kill shot?
They're going to decline the option to go for the kill shot. Instead, Nines goes for the unicorn,
4-4.
but he comes up short. So Casey Nines, 4 bullseyes in the first half of this one. He's got a 4-point lead. Nines and Buell switch sides. We're underway here in the second half. What a throw there from Casey Buell. No doubt about that one. His 3rd bullseye of the match to close the gap to 32-30. This crowd electric right now. The entire season on the line.
I'm going to take a look at that.
Casey Nines trying to advance. It is a bullseye for Casey Buell, a bullseye for Nines. It was Nines losing to Eric Scheisel earlier.
8th row.
You know, he would love nothing more than a rematch with the scope.
4-6.
Another bullseye for Casey Nines, his 6th of the match. He's got a shot now at a unicorn with a 4-point lead, just 2 throws to go.
6-4.
And we get a little closer. A bullseye for Casey Buell.
It's the 10th row.
It's a 2-point game
Casey, you're at
with
48.
1 throw
Casey,
to
you're
go.
at 46. Casey Nines.
Very
you're at
tough
48.
decision
You want
here.
a kill shot.
Both players
Casey Buell, 46.
are going to decline the option to go for a kill shot. It all comes down to this. Wow. A bullseye for Buell, but Nines answers with a bullseye of his own, and in fact, it's a 4 for Buell. So Nines gets the victory, 54-50. So Casey Nines with a big bullseye there on his final throw. Nines getting the victory, 54-50 over Casey Buell. We've seen so many great matchups between these two throughout the season. It's Nines coming out on top on this one. As for Buell, it's all over. Here's Buell on his matchups against Nines.
Hey, it's like you said. I mean, it is classic. We've been close every game, and I've lost literally by 2 points the last few times. So it's a little disheartening, a little disappointing, but I think Casey's a good competitor, so best man won.
Thank you, Casey. We look forward to seeing you again next season. We've got much more Battle Axe to go as we look to crown a champion here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. Joey Dania here at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, for this postseason double elimination tournament we call Axe Madness. Here's a look at the updated B bracket. Heather Gall, the 6th seed. She'll look to pull off a big upset against the 2 seed, Casey Nines. Let's get it on. Heather the Hatchet going head-to-head with Casey Laser Wolf Nines. Nines and Gall, touch tips, and we're set to go here on Battle Axe. What a start here for Heather Gall. It's a bullseye, and it's a bullseye for Laser Wolf as well. We call Nines Laser Wolf because he calls his axe the Butcher. As for Heather Gall, well, you can see why we call her the Hatchet. That hatchet is just simply gigantic. So Gall and Nines neck and neck after a couple of throws, 10-all. Heather Gall talking a little trash to Casey Nines. Could she be getting inside of that head? Right now they are neck and neck after 3 throws.
Is it? I highly doubt it. You're gonna all of a sudden you're gonna comment.
So much of this is a mental game. It appears both Heather Gall and Casey Nines are trying to get into one another's heads.
Really, Kyle? Really?
18-18.
It's 18-all after 4 throws. Could we have an upset brewing here? Heather Gall trying to focus in here. A bullseye, it appears, for Casey Nines, and a bullseye for Heather Gall. Casey Nines getting all he can handle right now from Heather Gall, and Heather Gall is fired up. How badly does she want this one?
Lane's open. Let's go.
Heather Gall waiting to touch tips, but Casey Nines is going to just go ahead and throw and leave her hanging.
All right.
So for the first time this matchup, Casey Nines and Heather Gall do not throw the same score. It's a bullseye for Nines, a 4 for Gall. Nines now has the lead, but it's a very small one with 4 throws to go. Can Heather Gall answer? That's awfully close to a bullseye,
6-4.
and she needs it. Heather Gall just missing the bullseye. It's a 4. Meanwhile, Casey Nines has thrown a unicorn. 3 consecutive bullseyes. He now has a 4-point lead. Casey Nines
4-4.
just missing a bullseye.
Go ahead.
But Eric Scheisel's going to get another look just to make sure.
Correction.
It's a correction. It's called a bullseye. A 4th straight bullseye for Casey Nines, and all of a sudden he has a 6-point lead. We were tied halfway through this one, and you can see the frustration on Heather Gall's face.
2.
This one getting away from Gall in a hurry.
Yep. 3. 6.
Another bullseye
All
for
right,
Casey
throw 9.
Nines.
Casey, 48.
5 straight
Heather,
bullseyes for
39.
Nines.
Kill shots.
This one all but over now.
6.
Bullseye.
There we go.
Casey Nines
54.
pounding in a dagger. He gets the victory, 54-43. Well, Heather Gall had her chance to pull off a big upset here against Casey Nines. These two were neck and neck through 5 throws, and then Nines really put it away in the second half. He advances to the Final matchup here in our B bracket. Nines will take on the 5 seed, Eric Scheisel, and we're going to get to that right now. Eric the Scope against Casey Laser Wolf Nines. The winner of this one will earn a spot in the championship series against Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. Not the best start here for Casey Nines. He finished so strongly in his matchup against Heather Gall, but missed there on the bullseye. Eric Scheisel gets the bullseye, so he's got a 2-point lead. That one's awfully close to a bullseye for Casey Nines, and it is. So a bullseye for Casey Nines, a 4 for Scheisel. We're tied up at 10 after a couple of throws. Looks like a bullseye for Nines.
Hold on here for a minute, gentlemen.
And that one is awfully close as well for Eric Scheisel.
6-4.
Matt Bradshaw, the referee for this one, he calls it a 6 for Casey Nines, a 4 for Eric Scheisel. So Casey Nines now with his first lead of the day, 16-14. And Casey Nines
4-4.
awfully close to the bullseye, but it's a 4 for Nines and a 4 for Scheisel.
All right, this is the 5th shot. Casey
So Nines
20, Eric 18.
hanging on to a 2-point lead. Both players going to decline the option to go for the kill shot. That's awfully close.
Looks like a 4 and 4. Yep.
Matt Bradshaw's going to get a closer look. It's a 4 for Casey Nines and a 4 for Eric Scheisel.
Switch sides.
We're halfway home. Casey Nines with a 2-point lead with a spot in the championship on the line. We know Matt Bradshaw will be in the championship, but will it be Nines or will it be Scheisel? A bullseye for Nines and a bullseye for Scheisel. Laser Wolf clinging to a 2-point lead. 4 throws to go. What a throw there from Casey Nines.
That looks like a
Matt Bradshaw's going to take a closer look.
4-6.
And it's a 6 for Casey Nines. So he extends his lead to 4. 36-32. Nines over Scheisel. Casey Nines missing the mark on that one, it appears. Matt Bradshaw will get a closer look to make sure. With so much on the line the entire season, it's just so important to get these calls right. Matt Bradshaw checking to see if red is on both sides of the blade. It needs to be for it to be a bullseye. You can't even imagine what must be going through the minds of Eric Scheisel and Casey Nines right now.
There's one side.
This is just so crucial.
Okay.
It's a 4-point game going into this throw.
And you're a 4 on yours as well, right?
And Matt Bradshaw is going to call it a 4. So it remains a 4-point game with just 2 throws to go. That's a big break for Eric Scheisel. Had that been a bullseye, it'd be a 6-point deficit with just 2 throws to go. Instead, he's only down 4. A chance here to get back in it, but it appears Laser Wolf has a bullseye.
4-6.
Yep. Matt Bradshaw's going to get a closer look at the throw from Scheisel. It's a 4 for Eric Scheisel, and that is devastating. Casey Nines now has a 6-point lead. One final throw to go. Big decision here with the entire season on the line. Eric Scheisel is going to go for the kill shot. And it's off the mark. Heartbreak City for Eric Scheisel. Casey Nines is moving on to the championship. Casey Nines with a strong finish in this one. 3 bullseyes on the back half to put it away and earn himself a spot in the championship. Earlier this postseason, Scheisel beat Nines, but with the entire season on the line, it's Nines over Scheisel. Here's Scheisel on his matchup with Nines.
Hey man, Casey's great. You know what? We have a good vibe together. We play together. I mean, you might even see us play dual leagues together as partners. and it's always great. Up and down, everybody can have that upper hand, that better throw. That he got the lead right out in front. He took it, and that's good. And he ran with it. He didn't get psyched by it, and it happened last week too to me as well. So I think a lot of it, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of work. Again, myself, personal views, where we've just got to kind of tunnel vision, focus in on that bullseye and win it.
Thank you, Eric. We are set to go for our Best of 3 Championship Series, and we'll bring that to you straight ahead here on Battle Axe on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. We are set to crown a champion here in our double elimination tournament of this fall league action in the WATL. I'm Joey Danya at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, and it all comes down to this one final matchup to crown a champion. It'll be a best of 3 series between Casey Laserwolf Nines and Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. This was the matchup that most of the fans wanted to see, and most of the national pundits certainly expected to see. The 1 seed, Matt Bradshaw, against the 2 seed, Casey Nines. It's a bullseye for Matt Bradshaw, a 4 for Casey Nines, so Matt Bradshaw with the early lead. Casey Nines trying to slay a giant in Matt Bradshaw. Bullseye for Nines, and a bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. Just got it in there for a bullseye. So Matt Bradshaw hanging on to his 2-point advantage. Matt Bradshaw rarely makes mistakes. Casey Nines knows he's going to have to be close to perfect to have a chance in this one. That one is awfully close to a bullseye for Nines. It is a unicorn for Matt Bradshaw. 3 consecutive bullseyes. We saw Matt Bradshaw put up a round of 60 in his first postseason matchup. Can he do it here again in the championship series?
4-6.
He's off to a great start. 4 straight bullseyes for Matt Bradshaw. It's a 4 for Casey Nines. Matt Bradshaw now with a 24-20 advantage. Both players declining the option to go for the kill shot here on their 5th throws. It's a bullseye for Nines and a bullseye for Bradshaw. So it remains a 4-point game after 1 half of play. Nines and Bradshaw switch sides. We get set to go for the second half. Nines with a little work to do, and he'll need Bradshaw to make a couple of mistakes here to get back in it.
6 and
it's another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. His 2nd straight unicorn. Eric Scheisel gets a closer look at that one of Casey Nines. He can't believe it. It's a 4.
That was really close.
And every 4 he throws has been devastating in this round because Matt Bradshaw just can't miss right now. 6 straight bullseyes. He has a 6-point advantage.
6.
Another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. His 7th consecutive bullseye. He's hanging on to his 6-point advantage with just 3 throws to go. Casey Nines, another devastating 4.
4-6.
And another bullseye from Matt Bradshaw. He now has an 8-point advantage with just 2 throws to go. Casey Nines going to need something, a small miracle here. Fall could be huge. That would change everything, but Matt Bradshaw is not going to let that happen. Another bullseye for Matt Bradshaw. It's an 8-point game now. Casey Nines will have to go for the kill shot if he wants to just have a shot at a tie. He could get that if Matt Bradshaw had a fall, but Nines is going to decline the option to go for the kill shot. A very interesting decision. We know that kill shots aren't the strong point of Nines' game, and he's declined the option. He ends with a 4. Bradshaw gets a bullseye. A perfect round for Matt Bradshaw. A 60-50 win over Casey Nines. The second round of 60 for Matt Bradshaw this postseason. He's going to be tough to beat. Casey Nines is going to have to dig down deep and win a couple of games over Matt Bradshaw. We're set to go here in our second matchup between Casey Nines and Matt Bradshaw. Nines now facing elimination.
Whenever you're ready.
Matt Bradshaw has yet to miss in this championship series. A round of 60 in his opening matchup against Nines in the championship. Another bullseye for Bradshaw. That's 11 in a row for the Magic Man. Casey Laser Wolf trying to get back in it.
6.
Good start for Laser Wolf. 2 straight bullseyes. But Bradshaw throws his 12th consecutive bullseye. Another shot at a unicorn for Bradshaw, and a shot at a unicorn for Nines as well. So it is a unicorn for Casey Nines, and all of a sudden, Nines has the lead. 18-16. Matt Bradshaw is human. He throws a 4, and Casey Nines throws another bullseye.
6.
So Nines facing elimination, but he's up to the challenge here in this heavyweight fight. It's a 2-point advantage for Casey Nines. They're going to decline the option to go for the kill shot. A couple more bullseyes. What a start for Casey Nines. We knew he was going to have to perform at the highest level to have a chance in this one, and he is perfect on the first half with a 30. Casey Nines with his best performance of the season, and what a time for it here in the championship matchup against Matt Bradshaw. 6 straight bullseyes for Casey Nines. Matt Bradshaw getting all he can handle here from Casey Nines. Looks like another bullseye from Laser Wolf.
6.
Wow. What a championship matchup we've got here. This one living up to all the hype and then some. We knew it would be good, but this is even better than expected. Casey Nines might have another bullseye. He does. Casey Nines. 8 consecutive bullseyes. Meanwhile, Matt Bradshaw. 5 consecutive bullseyes of his own, just 1-4 for Bradshaw, and that's the difference. It's a 2-point game, and for the first time this matchup, Casey Nines misses the bullseye, and how about this? We've got a tied game with 1 throw to go. Casey Nines facing elimination. He needs this one to force a third and final match. Matt Bradshaw can clinch a championship here on this throw.
Go ahead. 52-52.
Awfully close to a bullseye. And it's close for Matt Bradshaw as well. Casey Nines
I need a look.
can't believe this.
Guys, that's a tie game.
It is a tied game. We are going to sudden death with a championship on the line. It's going to come down to a kill shot attempt.
I don't think it could be.
Now remember, back in the first matchup, Casey Nines declined the option to go for a kill shot when he needed to just have a shot at forcing sudden death. He's going to have to win this sudden death throw here to keep the season alive and force a third matchup. If not, Matt Bradshaw will be the champion. Matt Bradshaw clinches the championship with a kill shot. Matt Bradshaw is the Axe Madness champion of the world. And what a way to finish it. A kill shot to clinch the victory. What a season and what a finish for Matt Bradshaw. One of those moments you'll just never forget. The night Matt Bradshaw clinched a Battle Axe championship with a kill shot over Casey Nines. And you really can't say enough about the effort that Nines had in this one. 8 consecutive bullseyes to start this round and really put the pressure on Matt Bradshaw. But the Magic Man up to the challenge. He gets the victory and the championship. For more on this thrilling finish, we're going to throw it down to Casey Laser Wolf Nines.
I feel pretty good. I mean, at the beginning of the night, I lost my first game, and I was feeling a little overwhelmed at that point. But really, the games started coming, and it got down to that last game there, and Matt and I were just going back and forth with those scores, and I started getting a little nervous there. But honestly, it was fun. I was definitely really kind of shaking there that last throw. We tied it up, and I just knew it was coming down to that kill shot, which I always have a little problem with. But Matt won it. He's a great competitor, so it was still fun over anything.
Thank you, Casey. Casey Nines, very gracious in defeat here in a thrilling championship matchup, which Matt Bradshaw came out on top of. We're going to throw it down now to our champion, Matt Bradshaw, for his thoughts on a thrilling final match.
I was feeling a little bit of nerves, but I was calm. I knew Casey's a very good player, and it was going to be mano-a-mano and match each shot for shot. And I got behind a little early, and it kind of got me thinking a little bit. So when he ended up throwing a 4 and ended up tied, it kind of put me at ease a little bit. So, and then we ended up going to the last throw, and the way to end it on a kill shot, can't ask for anything better.
Congratulations to our champion, Matt Bradshaw. A fantastic season for Bradshaw and an even better finish. Thank you so much to all of the competitors here, and thank you to the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. That's going to do it for this first season of Battle Axe. We'll see you again next season for our entire MC22 crew. This is Joey Danya signing off on Battle Axe.